A CEO was about to lose everything. 6 consecutive quarters of decline. Sales were down 22%, client retention was collapsing, and the board had already started using one dangerous word: replacement. Every report told the same story. The company was bleeding, slowly but consistently. So he did what most leaders do when pressure rises. He fought harder. He cut costs across departments, laid off the bottom 10% of employees, and pushed his sales teams with aggressive targets. He even launched a campaign called War for Market Share. Inside the company, the message was clear: win or get out. At first, it looked like it was working. Short-term numbers improved, revenue spikes came in, and reports looked cleaner. But underneath, something was breaking. Customers weren't coming back, employees stopped taking initiative, and meetings became silent, tense, and mechanical. The company wasn't growing anymore. It was surviving, and barely. One evening, long after everyone had left, a man walked into his office, an old mentor, a former founder known for turning failing businesses into empires. He didn't ask for reports or look at spreadsheets. He just walked slowly through the office floor, observing the empty desks, dim lights, and the strange heaviness in the air. When he returned, he said something unexpected. "Your problem isn't the market." The CEO didn't even look up. "Sales are down millions. That is the problem." The mentor shook his head. "No, that's the result." Now the CEO looked up. The mentor continued. "You were trying to fix what S outside without understanding what S creating it." The CEO leaned back, frustrated. "I don't have time for philosophy. I need results." The mentor stepped closer. "This isn't philosophy. It's cause and effect." Then he said one line that changed everything. "You were trying to fix the reflection without changing what she is, standing in front of the mirror." That night, for the first time in months, the CEO didn't open his laptop. No emails, no calls, no crisis meetings, just silence. And in that silence, something uncomfortable surfaced. He replayed the past 6 months, every decision, every meeting, every reaction, and he saw it clearly. He wasn't leading with vision, he was leading with fear. Every strategy came from panic, every conversation carried pressure, and every goal was driven by survival, not growth. Without realizing it, he had turned the entire company into a reflection of his mindset. Fear at the top created fear everywhere else. Employees weren't thinking anymore. They were protecting themselves, avoiding risk, avoiding mistakes, avoiding responsibility. The system hadn't failed. The mindset behind it had. The next morning, everything changed. Not the market, not the strategy. He walked into the office calm, with no urgency and no pressure. And for the first time, he didn't demand results. He changed the direction. No more war for market share. That mindset was gone. Instead, he introduced something different, a mission of value. The focus shifted completely from what can we take from the customer to what can we give that makes them stay. From control to clarity, from pressure to purpose. Managers were told one thing: stop chasing numbers, start solving problems. At first, no one believed it. The tension didn't disappear overnight, but slowly it began to crack. Employees started speaking again. Ideas returned to meetings. Teams stopped hiding mistakes and started fixing them. The energy shifted, and with it, something unexpected happened. The CEO began to notice opportunities he had completely ignored before. In his previous state, he was too focused on survival to see growth. Now, with clarity, he saw gaps in the market. One of them was massive. A new demand in sustainable logistics that competitors hadn't fully moved into yet. 3 months earlier, he would have missed it. Now he moved fast. Within 3 months, a deal that had been stuck for over a year closed. A new partnership formed with a major client. And a competitor, instead of fighting, offered collaboration. The company didn't just stabilize, it started growing again. By the end of the year, the numbers told a completely different story. Customer retention doubled, revenue climbed steadily, and employee turnover dropped. But more importantly, the company felt alive again. At the next board meeting, one question came up: what changed? They expected a new strategy, a new system, a new operational model. But the CEO gave a simple answer. We stopped trying to fix the outside and fixed what was driving it. Because in the end, a business doesn't collapse because of the market. It collapses because of the mindset leading it. And when that mindset shifts, decisions improve, people change, and opportunities appear. Most leaders try to control outcomes, but the real leverage is controlling what creates them. And once you understand that, you stop reacting to problems and start shaping the environment that produces results.